Hello Deadheads, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and today we have a lot of Grateful Dead to listen to together and I hope it makes your day better. I hope you guys enjoy your time with me here. We're going to be listening to a handful of songs and I cannot memorize all of them. I will be listing them off for you so you know what you're in for today. So we'll be starting off with Mountains of the Moon, which is featured in Playboy's After Dark. Then we'll be jumping into the Viola Lee Blues. And then lastly, this is where the mouthful kind of comes in. We have That's It for the Other One, Cryptical Envelopment, Quad Libe for Tender Feet. The faster we go, the rounder we get. And that is a performance at the Shrine Auditorium back in 68. So a lot of Grateful Dead to enjoy today. I hope you all are excited. But before jumping in, a massive thank you to Jeffrey the Considerate for making this donation request. As always, Jeffrey, thank you from the bottom of my heart. But now, let's jump in.
Well, so there we were. There was 6.5 top 7 parts. Armed to the teeth with buck knives.
Jerry, the Grateful Dead has been a part of the San Francisco scene for about 4 or 5 years.
Right.
Is the hippie scene changing now? I understand that.
Yeah, well, we're all big people now.
Certainly big in terms of publicity, etc. But I understand the Haight-Ashbury scene has changed a good deal.
Well, the Haight-Ashbury is just
like a show?
place, you know. It's just a street, and it's not really the thing. It never was the thing that was going on.
That was just the thing that got the publicity.
Right. That's the thing people could talk about because it's like easy to remember, you know.
Well, they held about a summer ago. They held a funeral for hippiedom.
Right, and that was like that was all of us saying we're not going to tell anybody anymore what we're
And start
doing.
enjoying it again. Huh?
Right.
Well, I noticed that with your own group, you've got kind of a stereo effect going on here with drums.
Yeah.
You've got 2 complete sets of drums and 2 drummers, obviously for a purpose.
Right.
But we've
Mutual
had
annihilation.
I see. In other words, the guys kind of compete with one another. And,
Well,
This is a TV
they,
show.
They more chase each other around. It's like
Or
it's
like a
like the
DVD.
serpent that eats its own tail, you know, and it goes round and round
Slowly.
like that. And if you can stand in between them, they make big figure 8s on their sides in your head.
I don't think I want to stand between them.
Hold on. Maybe we need to listen to more Grateful Dead interviews because the way that Jerry's describing the music, the drummers here, it's kind of the way that I would describe, I'm using my crazy analogies, the Grateful Dead.
Serpent that eats its own tail, you know,
The
and it goes
oracles.
round and round like that. And if you can stand in between them, they make big figure 8s on their sides in your head.
Wow.
I don't think I want to stand.
So he's literally talking about the spatial feeling of multiple drums on his left and right side. How do I do that? I guess the literal infinity symbol.
Between them. I think I'll
Take your pick.
stay back a little ways, but I noticed that the guys are near their instruments here,
Yes.
and the kids have kind of settled down. I wonder if we could get you to do a number for us.
Absolutely not.
Good. Well, let's blow the segment.
Right you
Oh,
are.
he's on the acoustic today.
Mountains of the Moon. That's the one, the big one up there at night.
Cold mountain water, the cheap merchant's daughter. Mountains of the moon, Electra bow and bend to me. I hold the carrion crow, folly round in winter. I hold the carrion crow.
You have this
bow and bend
bright
to
melody in the back.
me. Hey, Tom Banjo.
Oh,
Hey, oh Lord. More than Lord, you may sow all along the
I don't know how the organ sound has been converted into feeling like it's being plucked on like a mandolin or a violin or even acoustic guitar for that matter.
loneliest time, fairy sybil flying all along the mountains of the moon. Hey, Tom Banjo, it's time to
This is like Jerry singing us a lullaby.
The earth will see you on through this time. The earth will see you on through this time. Down by the water, the Marsh King's daughter, did you know? Clothed in tatters, always will be Tom, where did you go? Mountains of the moon, Electra, mountains of the moon. All along the mountains of the moon. High hold the carrion crow, far-de-ral-de riddle. High hold the carrion crow, bow and bend to me. Been to me.
Okay. It is a DVD collection. Playboy After Dark DVD collection hosted by Hugh Hefner. That's Hugh Hefner? I only know the older pictures of Hugh. I never actually saw him in his youth. That is interesting. Yeah, interesting song, Mountains of the Moon. Like, the immediate thought that came to my mind is this is, of course, Jerry singing us a lullaby, and it's like in the background of the acoustic guitar being played are these really bright keys that, strangely enough, carry with it the majority of the melodic feel of this song. And definitely, like, in the end, there's like a bit of a keys takeover. So it's kind of surprising that like the main 2 to 3 melodies were in obviously Jerry's vocals, the acoustic guitar, which was rather subdued compared to the keys. I think it's the rare Grateful Dead song, at least in my experience, that makes the keys the prominent melodic driver. But yeah, that was a very interesting experience. I'm glad we got the video as well. I always appreciate getting to see the Grateful Dead do what they do. But let's check out the next song here. This will be the Viola Lee Blues. Feels firmly Grateful Dead. What just happened here? I gotta go back. Because you hear the bass underneath, right? And the guitar's against the bass. Crazy.
Some got 6 months, some got one solid, got one solid. Yeah, Peter. Some got 6 months, some got one solid. Yeah. Me and my buddy.
Happening again.
I wrote a letter, wrote a letter, I'm mailing it to you. Nobody haven't got a friend somewhere.
Turning down a little bit. faster. The train never stops. Or the bus. It's like there are these moments rhythmically where it feels like things are slowing down or changing in terms of like the groupings of notes, because we all know like Grateful Dead time signatures are insane and can change very dynamically within a song. So sometimes it feels like I'm catching the drums either playing an accidental or intentionally slowing down or transposing the entire track by a beat or two, which can sometimes make it really hard from moment to moment to find where the one is. Like right there, like I don't know if you caught that, but it felt like a stutter step, the dun dun. I'll notice that happens sometimes. how? How do we get from there to there? It was almost like we were getting a moment of the other one from hell, but we brought it back. Super casual. This is the most like simple part of the track so far. Even then, the rhythm is not obvious. You notice how there's that like little gap that appears between the notes every so often? But it's at like an odd interval. It's just like they don't care about meter, they just want to play. Which I'm here for that.
I wrote a letter, evidently,
Wow.
evidently, evidently, wrote a letter, I'm evidently, yeah. I've got a friend somewhere.
My God. It's like this song, if I had to like use one word to describe it, warping. The song kept warping. One way or the other, it would change its form, its shape. And it would happen gradually, but it almost felt like when those moments were happening, two worlds were colliding, merging into each other, phasing out of one another, and then we passed that moment and we're into the new section of the song. It felt like we had that kind of transition 3 or 4 times in total. And then not to mention all of the cool rhythmic changes that were happening, and not just like at a very high level, but in these granular little switches. Like I tried to point out a few of those moments of like really syncopated or delayed hits that change and transpose the overall feel of the song. Or additionally, those like accidental drum notes, which I'm saying the term accidental, I'm not even sure I'm using that correctly here. I'm using it in the way that my brain is understanding it right now. It's the best way I can describe some of those like stuttering drum notes that feel like they stretch out the track like 1/8 beat more, And instead of being like in 4/4 time, 4/4 time, 4/4 time, it's like we had 4/4 for a little bit, and then like a quick moment of 9/8, and then back to 4/4. And that subtle addition changes everything that is to follow. That is why charting any Grateful Dead must just be a mission. I'd be very curious. I've seen videos like this online of drummers, for example. They'll go on this channel Drumeo, and they'll play just from ear. Like they'll listen to a song for the first time, they'll learn it, and within like an hour or two, they will play that very difficult song. So, you know, there'll be like gospel drummers that play like modern metal, and it's a completely different style, but they're using their musical hats to figure it out. I would love to see an equivalent of that, but instead of like, you know, modern metal, I would love to hear them tackle the Grateful Dead's drumming. That will be really fun for me to listen to. And I'm sure for a lot of you as well. But let's check out the last song today, which it's not a song singular, it's plural. This is, again, That's It for the Other One, Cryptical Envelopment, Quadlibe for Tender Feet, and The Faster We Go, the Rounder We Get. Let's enjoy. The audio quality here is better.
They waited. The sky was dark and faded. Silently they stated he has to die.
It's an interesting melody.
And all the children learning from books that they were burning. Every leaf was turning to watch him die.
What is going on? How are these changes happening? Because we have this like legato island feel, staccato, into this new world.
His mother could but frown on him, and all the others sound on him.
Oh, I like this progression.
Seem to matter. And when the day it ended,
The feel change.
rainbow colors blended, and remained unbended. He had to
But it's all in a cycle, because it's been repeated now. So impressive. Oh, ramping? Quieting? Oh, I'll shut up. I don't know. This is so dynamic. I will not. There's no way I can remember everything that's happened in this already. God, it's so good though. This song, it feels like I am trekking through the wilderness. I have no idea where I am right now, but it's fun. Also, I'm not sure if we've entered cryptical envelopment. The transitions between songs may be hard. Wow. What can I say? Da-da-da. What an interesting melody, and how did we get back here? Da-da-da. Keys.
You know we had to die. You know we had to die. You had to die. You had to die. You know we had.
It really is a journey, isn't it?
You know he had to die.
It's uncanny, before we potentially change in this section, it's uncanny how accurate that figure eight metaphor that Jerry spoke about is, because I'm just like hearing the distinct drum movements in either of my headphones. That's why I think when you listen to Grateful Dead, highly encourage you to listen along with headphones. I guess I probably, if I'm going to say that, I should have brought it up 38 minutes ago now. But it really is a different experience when you feel spatially where Grateful Dead are. It's almost as if you are on stage, or you can imagine yourself being in the crowd and hearing, relative to the distance in the panning, where the members are playing. feel like I've been musically baptized today. I like these natural harmonics. Yeah, the brain of Sohum is is no longer functioning at the level that it probably can. That these songs are just blowing my mind apart. I really like this last one a lot. This whole 15-minute sequence, so many movements, so many dynamic switches. Again, there was those moments of warping, but the warping here felt a little bit more structured, rather than like a complete just smashing and then transmuting through one another. A thought that came to my mind, I'm curious if it ever has crossed one of your minds or would even work in theory, but one of my thoughts is it feels like you could play a song, most, let's say, Grateful Dead songs without lyrics, play them fully backwards, and I feel like you could experience an entirely different journey. And of course, that's like an obvious outcome, but I just feel like for whatever reason, if I played this song in reverse, it would sound so good too. I don't know why I get that feeling. I'm just curious if it ever has crossed your mind, or if there's like content like that out there as well, hearing certain songs backwards. Additionally, imagine like the structure of this song was like A, B, C, D. Imagine now if we took that same structure and just inverted it, so D, C, B, A. It feels like for this song, for some odd reason, if we were to completely reverse the structure as well, it could work. Because at the end it got very quiet, it ramped down, and we kind of were left wondering, like, is there more? And then it ends. If you started that way, almost as an intro, it feels like that would work, and then you transition into these massive exploding moments and cascade down the mountain, the river, the creek, all the sights that we've seen on this musical journey. If we reversed it, I think it could work too. That's just like part of my intuition, and I don't want to conflate that with the music being played backwards. Those are two different things. I think what's more plausible is reversing the structure would work more so than just completely reversing the music in general. But I've also, like, in my various YouTube rabbit holes and explorations, have found different music that incorporate, even at a subtle level, elements of reversing certain vocal layers or musical layers, or even entire sections of a song. It's very uncanny, but depending on the vibe you're going for, it can work. And I feel like Grateful Dead, they go for all of the possible vibes. I could imagine it's something that they've tried out. But yeah, those are all kind of the half-baked thoughts of Sohum at the moment, because I am now half-baked with no drugs used at all. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did and would like to make a request yourself, you can do so by clicking the first link below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.